The All-American from the University of Maryland, Len Elmore. Lenny, let's talk about the Virginia backcourt, and you have to start with Richard Morgan. He scored 66 points in the first two games.
Well, Tim, Richard Morgan, a 6'3" senior guard, is a long-range scorer with marvelous ability. He's the kind of guy who'll run the floor well. He'll push it up sometimes when he gets the ball, but more often than not, he's a great defender. Now, John
Virginia at guard, a 6'3" senior from Salem, Virginia, number 11, Richard Morgan.
He may be coming in for a reason.
Get out, 32! Well, he'll get it started under there, and Stacey King's going to have to be aware of him as well.
Tough shot from Morgan. Rebound Dabbs. Back outside to Morgan in the paint, and he has his first bucket.
As I've been telling you.
It's a 1-point Sooner lead. Morgan for three. Yes!
Recognizing how aggressive this defense is for Oklahoma, Friday just let Mookie Blaylock step right by him.
Mullins' shot won't go. Rebound Morgan. He'll pull up for three. Cavaliers get it back. Friday almost gets into trouble. Out front they go to Dabbs, over to Morgan. That one's for two.
And he's over the line. He's on fire. There's not much that Mookie Blaylock could do with Morgan's shot. Off balance, and it still goes in. An adjustment now. Oklahoma's content to just lob the ball over their defense. The way to stop that is to put pressure on the passer.
From way outside, and Blaylock for three has his first bucket of the night. He was 0 for 4. Virginia leads by 1. Morgan, nice pass to Smith.
Richard Morgan goes up nicely, but dishes off. He forces both defenders to commit themselves, and Brian Stiff.
UVA to this point has been extremely poised, using the entire court, motion offense, and this is Morgan. Nice pump fake, but he's fouled by Henry. That's Henry's first, and the 7th team foul for Oklahoma.
And I mentioned earlier, a lot of times good, smart players use the aggressiveness of the defender against them. And knowing that Henry likes to come out, get things started, reaching and getting active with his hands, Richard Morgan did a nice job of just showing the ball and then drawing the foul. You always get a defender off his feet if you show him the ball.
Turner goes out, Stiff comes back in, he has 12 points. At the line will be Richard Morgan, a 6'3" senior out of Salem, Virginia, majoring in sports management. He's got another one coming.
Tim, Richard Morgan's a great story. He's the kind of guy that goes out, he's upbeat all the time. If he's shooting 1 for 20, he feels that the next shot's going to go. He's liable to put up another 20 just to show his coach.
Little smile before he lets that one go.
Virginia still attacking the Oklahoma pressure. They're going to make them pay if they gamble.
Big rebound by Dabbs, and he pulled that one down with authority. Dabbs has 10 rebounds now. Look at Morgan inside. Boy, if that one had gone, this place would have exploded.
I tell you, when you see Richard Morgan animated like this, really involved in the ball game, you know he's got the feeling.
The foul was on Skeeter Henry of Oklahoma.
He'll shoot 2.
The winner of that game will move on to play the winner of UNLV in Arizona. And Morgan hits the free throw. One of his preseason goals was to shoot more free throws. He has shot 135 this year. Interesting in that he had only 32 free throws all last year. The Sooners lead by 1 as we approach the 13-minute mark. Blaylock can't get the roll. Morgan out ahead of the break. And he's fouled by Mullins.
And you know Richard Morgan is a shooter. That time the ball was tipped out of his hands, flying away from him. He went after it and tried to tip it into the basket.
For the Cavaliers, and Morgan's at the line. He's an 86% free throw shooter. He's now 5 for 5 from the line. His brother Charlie played basketball for East Tennessee. He's from Salem, Virginia, a senior. And Virginia has the lead. This is Morgan. Morgan for three. He now has 19.
Tim, as soon as Oklahoma switched it at 1-3-1, Virginia seemed to have problems in solving it.
Morgan for three. And we're tied.
I guess that'll work.
All the Virginia players standing off the bench. You see them in the background. This would be a major upset. Morgan for three. Yes!
Well, you've seen Virginia for flurry run with Oklahoma and do all the things that Oklahoma does in rushing it up court, and then they push it back and play pattern game to get Richard Morgan wide open, doing an excellent job of changing pace on Oklahoma.
Richard Morgan, 25 points, 4 3-pointers.
Gain the tempo from Oklahoma, force them to change the things that have gotten Oklahoma this far.
The chant of ACC goes up, and the ACC will now be 10-2 in this tournament. All Dabbs has to do is get it into Morgan, and that'll do it.